Hi there, this is Dr. Julie Hall with Summit Wellness Group, and today I want to talk about eating more to lose weight. I know it sounds crazy, but it is really true. So, when you are on the semaglutide or tirzepatide medications, it can suppress your hunger so much that you will forget to eat. Now, I heard about this before I started the medicine, and I thought there is no way I'm going to ever forget to eat because I had never forgotten ever in my life. But it's really true. And again, for those of you who don't know me, I have been on this medicine myself for over a year, and I've lost 50 pounds and feel great on it, and I love it. And it's the same medicine that we prescribe for our patients, so it is legit. And but it's interesting because if you are not eating enough, your body goes into crisis mode, into starvation mode, and it holds on to your calories. And so if you aren't eating enough, then you can have a stall in your weight loss. So when you first start, you might be able to drop below whatever your basal metabolic rate is, which is customized for you for your age, sex, height, and weight. You can survive, briefly, sometimes weeks, sometimes months on, fewer calories. But for the long term, your body just doesn't want to give up any extra calories if it's not getting its baseline needs. So there are a lot of different basal metabolic rate calculators, and I just Google BMR calculator, and the first one that comes up is on a calculator.com website, and just put in height, sex, age, and weight, and then you'll see what your basal metabolic rate is. It gives you a number, and then it also gives you numbers for maintenance calories for not very much exercise, a little bit of exercise, moderate exercise, heavy exercise, going crazy exercise. And so you can kind of see where your maintenance calories are, which are what the exercise calories are, and you can see where your basal metabolic rate is. So that basal metabolic rate, I like to think of it as the fuel tank on your your fuel tank on your car. So if you have your empty line on your fuel gauge, if you keep just enough fuel in your fuel tank to stay right on empty, you can go forever, just trickling in just enough to stay on empty. But once you drop below empty, you might go 2 blocks, you might go 2 miles, but you are going to poop out. Okay, so if you think of that basal metabolic rate as that empty line in your fuel tank, if you make sure that you are staying there at your minimum number of calories, you can keep going. Okay, you can continue to lose all this other fuel that's in your tank, the exercise and everything else you're doing. That's going to be your calorie deficit, so you can lose. And on average, 500 calorie deficit a day is you can lose about a pound a week. 1,000 calorie deficit a day, you can lose 2 pounds a week. But again, if you drop below that basal metabolic rate, you are going to poop out. Your energy is going to be low. You're not going to be losing weight. You're not going to be sleeping well. You're just going to feel run down. So we want to make sure that you're eating enough. And that basal metabolic rate changes as your weight changes. So as you start at a higher weight, that number is going to be higher. And so for some people, it might be 1,800 calories or 2,000 calories even, just to have your minimum number of calories, which sounds crazy because those of us, especially a lot of us women, were told, well, if you're going to lose weight, you have to be at 1,200 calories or 1,000 calories, or some diets even take you down to 500 calories a day. And that's just not sustainable. And so when you are going through your weight loss journey, that number is going to change. Because if you think about it, when you move less mass around, you don't need as much fuel to move as much mass around. It doesn't take as much mass to move, a smart car than it does to move an SUV. So we want to kind of keep an eye on what that basal metabolic rate number is and shoot for that. Now, that being said, I hate counting calories. Hate it. Not my favorite at all. So I'm not asking you to count calories because I'm not going to ask you to do anything that I'm not willing to do myself. However, if we find out what that basal metabolic rate is, and we can either look back on the last couple of days of what we've eaten, or say, okay, for 1 or 2 days, I'm going to actually count calories and see where you are. Are you within about 200 calories of that basal metabolic rate, or are you, like with that one being the lowest part of the 200 amount? So like if your basal metabolic rate was 1,500, are you eating between 1,500 and 1,700 calories? Are you closer to 1,200 calories? Are you closer to 2,000 calories? That can kind of help guide you. So again, it doesn't have to be exact, but if your BMR is 1,500 and you're eating 1,200 calories a day, your body is in crisis and it needs some more calories. If you're eating 2,000 calories a day, you're at maintenance, which is why you're not losing, and you could cut back on some calories. So kind of keep that in mind as you're going through. If you are eating fewer calories, it can be a challenge to add more calories if you just have no hunger and you're feeling like I have no more room to fit a whole nother meal in if I need to get 300 more calories in or something like that. So think about just upping a little bit with each meal that you're doing. You know, an egg, 70 calories, a handful of almonds, around 150 calories. Some of the yummy protein bars can be 200 or 300 calories. You can break those up into smaller pieces and have a little bit with like snacks in between each meal or dessert, something like that. So there's ways to fit in good quality protein and, you know, higher fat snacks with fewer carbs, because that's, you know, in general what we want to see. You know, fit those in to bring your calories closer to that BMR. And again, we don't want you to count calories every day because that's no fun for anybody. And being on these medicines, we don't want to be in that diet mindset, because we all know what happens in the diet mindset. When can we be done? When can I eat the things I want to eat? This is more just shift of mindset, shift of lifestyle. So we're just trying to figure out how can we eat more sustainably. Okay, so hopefully that answers some of those questions. If you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out. We'd love to talk with you more. We always offer free consults for everyone. And check out our YouTube channel for more information. Please like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you soon.